This year I have a lot of things going on with peppers, so I thought I'd do a video just about the peppers. What you're looking at here is some F1s and some F2s from last year, and many of those F1s in the F2 generation will have variegation. So just try to imagine some of these plants with variegated foliage. I have some of the F2s and F3s growing indoors right now, and I'll give you a peek at those later on in the video. I used Midwest Midnight Eclipse and Midwest Midnight Orange on a couple of crosses, so that's why some of them have darker foliage. This is a cross with the Midwest Midnight Eclipse. The peppers from the next pod are a cross between a variegated Midwest Midnight Orange and another pepper. As you can see, even though they're siblings, they have different shaped peppers and different colors too. I separated that cross into two different projects. I used this pepper in a couple of crosses, and I really like the variegation on it. This plant is a cross between two F1 hybrids, and I used it in a couple of crosses too. This is another pepper that was a cross between two F1 hybrids, and I have the F2s from those crosses growing indoors right now. I'm trying to work darker foliage into some projects, so for that I'm using Midwest Midnight Orange, variegated Midwest Midnight Orange, and Midwest Midnight Eclipse. Here's some early results from a couple of those projects. Things are pretty variable in the early generations, so most of the projects that I'm working on are far from stable. Here's an early attempt at trying to improve the Midwest Midnight Eclipse. The peppers are longer and sweeter, but I'm working on the foliage still. Here's what those look like when they get ripe. The F1 and F2 generations were also very productive. Here's a cross that I did using the Midwest Otapino, and in the next generation, the foliage will be variegated. This is an F1 cross between a candy cane and another sweet pepper, and the F2s will have variegation. This is that cross between Courbaki and Jimmy Nardello, and last I checked, those were still available on matspeppers.com. This is an F5 that came from our Ota peppers, and it had plenty of heat the last time I tried one. This is an F5 or F6, I can't remember which, but it has some interesting purple in the variegation that I like quite a bit. This cross gets extremely long, and I have the next generation growing indoors right now. And this one tastes very good, by the way. This is another one that will be variegated in the next generation. I have that growing indoors right now. Here's a peek at the peppers that we have growing indoors. The largest ones are just now forming flower buds, and then we have some that are just now sprouting. So far I have 19 different pepper projects planted. Since most of my pepper projects that I'm working with this year are in the early generations, there's going to be a lot of variability, so it's going to be fun to see what happens. If we get interesting phenotypes, I might have to split some of the projects into 2 or 3 projects. We'll just have to wait and see. Before you go, hit that like button, and if you're just now finding this channel and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.